So then, given that we're a decent way into the 2024 theme park season now, the question of when Hex would reopen to the public is one which has been on the front of a lot of people's minds all season really, as we knew that the ride was being refurbished to reopen this year. But the question of when this year it would reopen was kind of one that was up in the air a little bit. But now that the Park of Power video going over what has happened with Hex and what is essentially going to be happening with Hex, that question has kind of been answered. Now before I get into the video, I will make the point of, do go watch that video, I'll put it in the description. It is a really great video and does actually have Bianca Sammet, the divisional director of Alton Towers herself, going through the project and talking to many people heavily involved with this project. But I'd definitely recommend going and watching that. But in this video, they go through the things that they've changed with this ride and state how obviously because it closed late last year for the refurbishment because the ride's reliability was dreadful, which it really was, let's be honest, it was really struggling with its reliability. And they state things like they've completely refurbished the ride's audio visual effects and everything, and sort of gone over those and refurbished those. There's been LED lights implemented for the lighting rigs, and lights have been added to the attraction, so there's more than before, which is great to see them adding to things. They also stated the ride's soundtrack has been enhanced, but they also went through things which are a little bit more important for the ride's really operations and especially the reliability, and state things like the ride's operator panels have been changed out and replaced with new ones, which is great to see because the original panels have been there since the ride opened in, I think it was year 2000, wasn't it? So they've been there a long time, and they stated that these new ride op panels are a lot more intuitive for the operators to use. They allow for better synchronization between scenes in the ride, and it will just make it that little bit better overall, because not only will it be more intuitive for the operators, meaning it's going to be faster for them to use, it will also mean things like the synchronization and everything for this attraction will just make it that a little bit more immersive when you're within it. They also then go to the actual Vekoma Madhouse itself, like the ride part of it, and state they've been working very closely with the ride's manufacturer, Vekoma, to get custom parts sent to them and everything for this refurbishment, and state that they have replaced the slew bearings. So you've got the gondola on the inside for a Vekoma Madhouse, and the outer room is what rotates 360. The slew bearings are what sits on the outside of the outer shell so that it can rotate. They are the bearings for that, which is great to see they've replaced those. That must have been a mammoth of a task, but if it needs it doing, it's great to see that it's happened. But then they also state that compared to the original stuff they were going to take on for this project, they've taken on more than they had initially anticipated, essentially. Now that is my sort of paraphrasing for that, those in the exact words they used, which although that could be seen in two ways, I personally see it as a positive because it was going to need to be done anyway for this attraction, and it's great to see it's done now when the ride's undergoing its refurbishment, because it makes sense to get it done while there's all these crews on site and it's going under refurbishment anyway. Get it done now. And then they also did say, however, that they initially anticipated that Hex would be open for summer of 2024, so this summer, but at its current stage in the project, it's looking like an autumn opening for Hex, which, although the delay to the ride's opening can be sort of seen in two ways, I would much rather them take their time, put the effort that needs to be put into it, because they stated once it's finished, they just want to test this ride and get it, making sure it's reliable for when it reopens, which is the exact thing this refurbishment's there for, and it's the one thing which really needs to be changed. So I really do have to say I'm all for it. And although a short delay can be seen as a bit annoying because we won't be able to get on it for that little bit longer, I have to say I'm all for it in the long run if it means it will be a lot more reliable of a ride. But I personally, I could see Hex opening for, if it's opening for autumn, that's September, October, November, I'm pretty sure, I could see Hex opening for this year's Scarefest, so October, because it gives them time to finish up the project, iron out all those creases, get the ride tested and tested and tested, make sure that it's running nice and reliably, and have it open for this year's Scarefest, because it would fit the eerie theme of Scarefest Hex, doesn't it? It's a great ride, it's the best Vekoma Madhouse in the world in my opinion, and I've only done 3 or 4, but still, it's living up strong, and it is the best I've done of that ride model so far. But I'd love to know what you think of this and when you think Hex would open. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, please do like and subscribe. It really does make the world of difference and really does help this channel out. And I'll see you all in the next one.